So starting off, we're going to walk them down the stairs, and as they walk down, the thing for you to do is to watch their eyes, because beginners who are scared, you'll see their eyes open bigger. The other thing you'll see is they're going to grab hold of the rail real tight, or they're going to hug the wall coming down. It's your job to watch that, to notice it, and to speak to it. So just as they come in, be careful. Once they get in the water, you're going to say, "Hi folks, welcome to the water. This is a completely different environment than air. Things are really, really different," and that's part of what scares people sometimes. So we want to talk a little with you about the differences. So the first thing we want to do is walk. So when you walk, just get them to walk real slowly and get them to notice what's different. Say, what are you aware of? What do you see different in the water? What you're looking for when they do this, you're going to hear it's cold, and it is cold, and there's a whole deal on gear we'll talk about. You're going to hear, well, it's wet. It's like, yeah, it is wet. That's different. That doesn't usually happen when you're walking around on land. What's different about that? Maybe when it rains, you get wet, but that's it. What else? Eventually, somebody's going to say everything's slower, or it's thicker, or there's more resistance, or one of those things, and you're going to say, yeah, that's all of that other stuff's true. This is the one I really focus on. I want to talk about slower. If you walk in the water, you can't walk as fast in the water as you can on the land. There's no way. If you try to run, same problem across the board. It really doesn't matter what you do in the water. It's going to be slower, except maybe panic. You can panic as fast in the water as you can on land and a few other things. But physical stuff, it's slower in the water, and that makes a huge difference for us. So I want you to walk around and notice what else happens, and just get them to watch and say, the reason this all happens is because the molecules in the water are closer together. I like to think of them as better friends. They're a really close-knit group of friends, right? Molecules in the air, they're just kind of acquaintances who come and go. They get out of your way, you never notice them. These guys are always fighting you. They're always fighting to stay together, and that's part of the reason that people float. That's part of buoyancy. That's part of what's going on. So we found out that Rosie's okay standing in the water and she's comfortable. So the next thing we want to do is walk in the water with her. A lot of people are really, really sensitive to balance changes, and so we want them to begin to see how they move in the water. So Rosie, thank you for joining again. Shall we start with walking? We've done this once or twice, so this won't be terribly hard for you, but we start with really small steps, just going forward, and see if you're comfortable with that. And we'll walk all the way up to this black line. How's that feel?
Okay.
Doing all right? Okay, good. You look a little anxious, just a little. Okay, but that's all right.
Yes.
Okay, so we can walk back and do the same thing. So let's just walk back here. And just keep watching. So coaches, you're watching the face, you're watching to see if they're scared, you're watching to see if they're really comfortable, and you begin to build accordingly. So I think you're comfortable with this. I think you're comfortable with a short step. So can we do big steps forward? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All right. So we're just going to take big steps, pull your leg up, come down, there you go. Pull your leg up, come down. It's kind of different, right?
Yes.
It changes the balance a whole lot. Is that uncomfortable, or is that fun, or?
A little of both.
A little of both, okay. And so we'll keep that balance going and just watch and play, coaches. Just watch with her. Okay, let's go back this way. Maybe not quite so big, just a little smaller.
Okay.
We want you to keep nice and balanced while you're here. Don't want you to be scared about the balance.
Okay.
We can, coaches, give them noodles if we need to. We can give them swim boards to hold on to while they're walking there. You can put your hands out and hold their hands if they need you to do that. That works out okay. And Rosie likes to do that when she gets scared. She'll be grabbing hands. So that's the way she does that. So that's nice. So if you're comfortable with that, and you're comfortable enough to do this next step, I know because we've done before, can we walk sideways?
Yes.
Are you good with that? We'll just pull our feet together and spread out and go from there. And keep yourself nice and centered, balanced. You look like you're concentrating really hard. Good. How's it feel?
Okay.
All right. Okay, and we'll just go back here. And are you relaxed or are you tense while you do this?
Just a little bit.
Tense a little bit. So what we want to do is let you get to a place where you can be a little less tense. So that's great.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to show them another piece for half a second, and you just stay here because I don't want you to be any more tense with it. But coaches, you can do, once they get comfortable, you can do cross legs so that they step across their legs. You can do hops from side to side, and what I know is that Rosie can do hops, so we might do a hop for people to see. You just are getting them acclimated to the water. Some people will do this immediately. They'll hop in, they'll have this, there's nothing to do. Other people, you're going to spend a big chunk of the lesson with them just getting them comfortable. Whichever it takes, don't worry, just keep track of your person and make sure they're comfortable. We don't want anybody staying uncomfortable doing this. They've been uncomfortable for a long time. We don't want to continue it.